You said you could teach me something. What did you have in mind?
Mojito. If you ask nicely, I'll share some of my hard-earned wisdom with you.
Very well then, lady know it
No me
all.
enseñes escolástica,
Let's
Rosa,
say
que
then I
la
come
tengo al
on
máximo.
bended knee. What scholarship can you pass on to me?
That depends on what you're interested in. There's a whole world hidden inside of books I could talk to you about for days on end. Or if you prefer actions instead of words, I can show you a few shooting tricks. But I warn you in advance that it will not come so.
Me cago en la puta, ¿en serio me cobras?
I'd like you shoot like a... well, a wild woman.
I prefer the term Amazon.
Will you teach me?
¿Ya está? ¿Ya está? Rosa, ¿ya está? Pues te robo un cáliz. Bueno, no, me lo voy a robar nada. Bueno, supongo que saldrá una misión nueva, ¿no? En otro momento, yo qué sé. ¿Cómo se sale de aquí? ¿A dónde ha ido Rosa? ¿Ha desaparecido?
Apparently, the city council is organizing another collection
Pero...
of repairs to the fortifications.
Ah, aquí estás, coño. No puedo hablar más con ella. Ella putada, ¿no? Bueno, pues nada, supongo que... tendré que avanzar un poco en la historia principal. A ver cómo hago ahora, porque me tengo que infiltrar en la reunión de Segismundo. Joder. Vamos a ver. En la casa consistorial esa, que viene a ser... ¿Aquí? Hola.
I'm going to see the Mint Master.
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I have an appointment with him.
All right. Go ahead then.
Pues vale. Más fácil de lo que yo pensaba. Buenas. ¿Qué tal, amigo?
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Ahí las
What you
dado.
like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Surely you wouldn't deny me a chance to meet the king.
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
No. A este pavo no se le va a decir absolutamente nada. Como se le diga algo, se puede joder toda la operación. O le miento, también. Bueno,
I just want to climb the social ladder a bit.
un poquito de
Nothing wrong with that,
ironía.
is there?
And could you not choose a different occasion for that?
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you'd better shape up.
All right, all right.
Esta rata traicionera.
We can make
Se le
a
dice
deal.
algo
If I get you into the
y te
council,
traiciona.
you'll
al
behave
instante.
appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
Que daremos a nuestra colaboración por concluida. No, no, no.
I must have misheard you. Our business will be over when I say it is. So pull your head out your ass and see to getting me into that assembly.
All right, Jesus.
Vale, vale,
I need to lose your
pensaba.
temper. You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the...
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name.
Franta.
Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, You'll need his letter of permission, otherwise you...
Vale.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse...
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the...
¿Y dónde encuentro la...?
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market
Ah,
today
mira,
from
perfecto.
Master Tailor
Mira, tengo que pagarle
Schneider.
un tiro.
You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
Vale.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to...
I'll be going then.
Just make sure we both come.
Un placer, como siempre.
Without even a crumb going astray.
Vamos a ver. Ya me están buscando, yo no sé quién. ¿Quién me está buscando? Porque está todo el mundo borracho, tío. Vamos a ver. ¿Es aquí? Ah, es toda la zona. Espérate. Es toda la puta zona, tío. Tiene que estar en el sastre, ¿no? Porque esto es lo de ropajes. Vale. Pues el sastre está aquí. Ya no hay sastre. Ya no hay sastre.
Everything's going well. I'm in fine fettle. It's almost odd how well things are going.
Pero qué raro, ¿no?
Aye, true enough. I need to pay the tithe and give something to the church for my father's requiem mass.
Isn't it a bit early for that? It's
Panadera, me da igual la panadera.
I'm sorry.
¿Dónde están los putos ropajes, tío?
Come and take your pick.
Fine wares. Fine wares, dice la panadera.
You won't get work like that just anywhere.
¡Hombre!
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. But
¿Qué tal?
Greetings. I'd like to...
Surely you can wait a while. I have a customer here. Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate work.
no more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. Thanks. I'll gladly recommend you if anyone asks. And you impatient fella, what was it you wanted?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
Supposing I took the job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen
Pagan
on it,
bien.
but it's well
Te daré el
paid.
dinero que paguen, a mí no
Apart
me
from
interesa.
that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
I want to see the king in the flesh.
Why's that?
Well, I heard a lot about him. How he won lots of battles, how he's courageous, just...
And as bad-tempered as the devil. He's got the councillors shitting themselves. The more I think about it, the happier I am about not having to be there. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you?
Vinos de calidad y demás. Sí.
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse. Clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly.
Thanks.
Vale. Sombrero, pantalones y abrigo. Muy bien.
You better not. Fine wares. Come and take your pick.
Onion, we're closing. Last chance.
Y esta es la casa, ¿no?
How come you weren't in church on Sunday?
¿No es esta? Aquí, ¿no? Vale, pues vamos a equiparnos, como es debido. Prefiero quitarme incluso esto. Este atuendo. Fuera capucha, fuera esto, sombrerito. Eso es. Fuera abrigo de ladrón. Esto lo tengo sucio, ¿eh? Fuera cinturón, fuera esto, de momento. Y abriguito real. Fuera los guantes. Y pantalones, es lo que yo me hace falta. Las botas de cortesano también las tengo llenas de puta mierda, tío. Bueno, entonces me voy a poner la bolsa y el cinturón. ¿Qué más da? ¿Qué más da? Vaya pinta esto. Vale. Pues ya está, ¿no? El anillo, ¿por qué no? Uy, ¿y ese sonido? Eso es nuevo. Y esto también. ¿Y este quién es? Friedrich Kummel. Ese es el que hizo los torneos de esgrima entre el Menhard y los otros. Hola.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming.
Pues mira, está lesionado.
Crippled his leg. He can't even stand up. Never mind serve guests.
Is it serious? That's all we need. Having to find a new waiter.
No, it won't come to that. It just looks like a twisted ankle. A few days, and he'll be right as rain.
All right. Well, I suppose we'll just have to manage with you for today. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure.
Yes.
There is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be.
Muy bien.
Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll...
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter
En una
should stand
esquina.
in a corner,
Vale.
look willing, in short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double.
Vale.
You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them.
¿Las
White
jarras están
Acadia
dónde?
or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never
Adam,
reaches an
¿quién?
end. We can't allow that to happen.
All right.
Adam Saric.
Sir Adam of Zarzhit stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't
Espérate.
look at him.
No me digas
And
más
the most
porque...
important thing?
Remember who wants what?
That too, but more importantly, do not disturb the councillors at their work.
Vale.
And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. Understood?
Understood.
What if I make a mess of something, though?
Then I'll see to it that you won't get a job even mopping the floor in the hole in the wall. But I'm sure that's not
Me
going
parece
to
justo.
happen. So,
Are you ready? Yes.
I know everything I need.
excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can...
No me quites mis cosas, hijo de puta. Es que ya verás, me va a quitar otra vez los putos presets que tengo, tío, los atuendos. Adiós, espérate. Clientes brillan en vino. Tokaji blanco o monasterio tinto. Vale, pero ¿cuál es cuál? ¿Pero cuál es el blanco y cuál es el tinto? No hacer esperar... Vale, joder. Observar vino.
Pictures of wine. Hopefully I won't splash anyone's shoes.
Vale.
And
El
on
rey
top
supongo
of
que va
that,
aquí, ¿no?
The army was requisitioning from it. Should the
You
town
there,
reserve have
lad.
worse
A
weapons
cup of
than any
red.
Räuber in
And
the
don't you
domain?
skimp on me.
I apologise,
Getting
sir.
at, Eldris?
Which wine?
I'm
Monastery
saying
red.
that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil,
Tinto.
used that thing. That Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get
Sir?
them?
You're the one who should know where they got them.
Muy bien.
Thank
You're a
you, waiter.
gunsmith.
¿Pero
What
puedo
they
pasar por aquí en
implied,
medio?
Brutus. All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You
Hey,
smell a deal?
waiter. Pour me
What I
some
smell
monastery
is that
wine.
your stubborn
I
heads
apologise, sir.
do not realize
Which
what
wine?
Schwierigkeiten this
Am I
is.
speaking in Latin?
The Dry Devil is running
No
free.
puedo, lo tengo
There are
prohibido.
Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend
No puedo.
yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight?
Que os den por culo, no puedo.
The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with
Monastery
protection.
wine,
Is
here.
it?
I'd like to
König
oblige,
and his
but
army
I'm
will
not
not
allowed.
be here.
This is unbelievable.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment. What if he heard you?
¿Qué están hablando, tío? No me estoy enterando.
We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with
Cuidado.
brooms.
You're right,
White up.
Eldris.
Pour me
But where
red
can we
wine.
get the coin for better equipment?
We can always
I apologize,
confiscate
sir.
the property of the king's
one?
enemies. Nicht wahr?
Monastery rat. We are more than familiar with the yeomanly state of our armory. And the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes.
Sir?
The king fears that this town will rise
Ahí
against
va.
him.
Well,
He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
Cantidad de gente importante hay aquí,
Baths
¿eh?
or
Hey,
brothels.
waiter. Pour me some monastery wine.
Que no.
oblige, but I'm not allowed.
This is unbelievable.
So, the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be. The current baths...
More
in the
wine,
city fall
Master
far
Bailiff?
short
I
of
have
covering
enough
all the
wine.
citizens'
Come
needs.
closer.
All right.
¿Qué pasa?
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs
Este es el
to.
merino, no lo había visto en todo el juego. El merino de aquí de Gutenberg.
A silver goblet.
Un cáliz de plata.
She sneaked into Sir Ulrich. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to go and get it. And don't you make him
Where can I find this goblet?
use your eye and come right.
Still
Pues-
just a tax.
And what else would you want?
Voy a guardar. No puedo guardar.
If the town itself took charge of the baths, the profits would be much bigger. And
Copa de
all
plata,
the baths
cáliz, ¿no?
would chip in with their taxes
Copa robada.
too. More
Nice.
baths.
Use silver might this be.
The need for cleanliness and citizens' help.
So, did you find it?
Yes.
I did, Master Bailiff. Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your...
And while he's there, a man can shave and take a... you-know-what.
So what? Going to the baths is neither a civic duty nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death? A great many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan?
Mira los perros debajo de las
The Black
mesas.
Death
Uno
had
durmiendo por
nothing
ahí,
to do with
otro
the baths,
jalando.
Unless the Lord wishes to punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important, but we don't have money to spend. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a waste of time.
Están hablando de la limpieza de la ciudad, cuando están las calles llenas de boñigas y de mierda de caballo por todos lados.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way. At least until His Majesty honors us with his visit.
And a full cup.
And as we know,
I apologize.
Gunslin absolutely hates him.
Are you
He can hate all he
colorblind?
wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich,
Desde luego,
what do you
marchando.
have to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what you're implying.
Sir?
I'm speaking about the Rutard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that. Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing out.
I don't like Ruthard, true, but in this case it
Sir?
really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped
Ahí
about
va.
it.
Thank you, waiter.
I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Ruthard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true.
Hey, waiter.
Because if we
pour me
don't do
some
something about him, the king himself will put an end to him,
apologize, sir.
and soon.
¿Quién?
Which one?
Unless he puts
Talk
an
high.
end to us first.
That's the white
God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
I'm sorry, Andreas, but I wouldn't brush it off so quickly.
Ahí va.
Why do I have the
Well,
feeling you're not telling us the whole truth, Ulrich?
Are you accusing me of lying?
Those are strong words, my friend. Nobody said anything like that, did they?
Then why doesn't he tell us what really happened?
I'm not keeping anything from you, but there's little truth to the rumors circulating around
No
the
tendrá
town.
cara este ni nada.
Yes, Ruthard and I had a little disagreement,
Sí, sí,
but
sí,
we
sí.
ended it quickly because his daughter wanted to get involved. I didn't want to expose the girl to any unpleasant sights.
So Rutard is hiding behind his own daughter's skirts?
As if it wasn't enough that he sent his son to die defending the city.
All right. If you really don't have anything new to say, let's turn the page.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also
¿De quién habla? ¿De
illegal.
Menhart?
I could understand it with mercenaries, students, and other scum of all kinds, but city
Boy,
councillors...
I'd like some white.
specific.
¿Quién? Ah, tú.
Are you blaming one
A ti te voy a dar el... No.
Ah,
Pensaba
look who
cambiarle el...
spoke first.
Venga, toma para ti.
It wasn't a duel. It was supposed to be an honorable combat.
Don't hang around me.
I didn't even
Vanish,
think of it.
hear me?
And that's the only reason you're still here on the council and not in the pillory.
If you want to blame somebody,
Uy, le podía
you should
amenazar.
point the finger at
Oh,
the
puta.
youngster here who's...
Excuse me.
Never mind.
I suspect the gentleman from the city's sword-fighting school
¿Qué?
brought this custom
Everything
to us.
in order?
It's
Not
now
quite.
run by the
But
German
I think you might be able
Menhart.
to help me.
Who knows
Come
who
here.
that fellow is?
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now.
Voy a por ellos.
I knew I could count while you're at it. Count how many figures on the mural have wings.
Perdona, ¿qué?
Why?
Because I'm bored. And because I...
To deal with.
More pressing
La
than
madre que le
the
parió.
open contempt of the whole town garrison.
¿Cuántas figuras tienen alas?
Be settling accounts their own way.
That was
We'll
easy
soon
enough,
be the
and he wanted me to
laughingstock
count
of
the
whole
winged
town.
figures.
Una...
Sure, the whole town is already
Esto es
laughing.
imposible, pero esto es imposible. Dos,
So what?
tres,
One more reason.
My word,
cuatro, cinco,
the town council
seis,
is squabbling
constantly at the Emperor Charles, and no one
7, 8...
And you, a counselor, let people throw dirt on our work.
¿Eso es una figura?
I threw out everyone in
No
the
lo sé.
place over
Yo he contado 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... Creo que 12. Creo.
Why waste our time? I gave you a task. Have you forgotten? So,
Detalles.
let's see.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? And did you count those?
Vaya.
I counted 16, sir.
And did you count all the monsters and animals?
No sé.
Oh.
Puede ser.
I thought you meant only the aim.
Go back to Sir.
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedral.
No sabía más.
The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers. Right under our noses.
Hey, waiter!
It's just the village of the monastery, and they are
Come
going to
here,
make a
kid.
oil mining city. Why can't we build faster?
Colorblind,
Hire
white!
more craftsmen, start with...
No, que no sé. White ha dicho.
There's a war going on. Are the experts from far off supposed to work in the city?
Es que no me entero con todo el mundo hablando, coño.
I get the feeling there's
Sir?
something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh,
You,
do.
lad.
Do you?
You look familiar.
And what
to
would
me.
that be?
Have we
Like,
met?
for instance,
Well, naturally.
that you'd like to
I
have
go to your tavern almost
daughter
every
there.
day.
So what
Really?
if I would?
Hold your
You
horses,
must have
gentlemen.
decent wages to
That
be able
space
to
in the
visit the
side
best
gate
tavern
is
in
mine.
town
When
regularly.
hell freezes over, my friend, your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me? You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obring.
Marchando.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Sir?
Oh, this is news to me.
Ups, te lo he hecho un poco fuera de la copa, pero bueno.
I see you've come up in the world. From a bathhouse boy to a waiter.
Ah,
You'll
yes,
go a long
I
way.
forgot.
I might make
What do
councillor
we have
one
to
day.
discuss next?
You're a merry soul, lad. I like that.
¿Cuándo va a entrar el puto King, Segismund? Ahora. Definitivamente ahora. ¿Otro? Bueno, se te acabo de servir.
I'm telling you, something is being planned. Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Ahí viene. Por primera vez se va a ver al Cumm. Bueno, no, se vio en el primer juego algo. Cuando atacaba a Scalis y tal, pero... Bueno. Ahí está. Joder, ¿me van a reconocer o qué? Cuidado, La puta música, qué barbaridad. ¿Qué? ¿Yo? ¿Vino? Muy bien. Henry. Espabila. Uf, no se acuerda de mí. Menos mal.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
Vale.
Like this plan of fights!
No como estos mendrugos. Vamos a ver. Suchdol. ¿No? ¿O no? En un lado están reunidos todos los de Segismundo y en el otro todos los de Wenceslao, ¿eh? Está guay, está guay. Ah, ahora soy el padre Godwin, vale.
Come now, father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a minute. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Perfecto.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the...
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Bueno, supongo que esa es la misión principal, ¿no? Brabant, conocer al rabino. Jan Liechtenstein. Por allí estará Jobst. Estará por aquí, seguramente, ¿no?
Greetings to you too.
Jan Siska, que está más pedo que... Hola. Samuel y el rabino.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader, and this is Samuel.
We would rather not be here. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
A ver, supongo que Segismundo está en contra de ellos, pues obviamente tienen que escoger bando, ¿no? Para intentar...
Are you here to arrange some trade?
mantenerse
We
en la
have
comunidad.
more serious matters to attend to here than the situation in the town and the kingdom.
Bueno,
is
no he
you
visto
have men
persona, no he
and
visto NPC que hable
weapons.
más lento que tú.
We have the means.
Te voy a saltar todos los
Why are you
diálogos,
telling
¿vale?
this to a Coimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hot...
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. We did not get off to a very good start.
Bueno, salió todo bien al final.
Well, maybe you'll get to know each other better. He should be coming here later, by the way. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right.
¿Qué pasa?
Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A
Anda.
blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised...
Wait. Espérate. ¿Cómo? ¿Qué? ¿Samuel es hermanastro de Henry? ¿Qué?
And that was all.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments.
¿Somos hermanos?
As far as I know,
Hermanito.
Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Copula, Henry's real father.
I don't care if you took care of 20 other mamsas.
Bueno, claro, no somos de sangre, ahora que me doy cuenta, claro. Porque mi madre verdadera es la de Scalis. Pero mi padre no es el biológico, es el adoptivo, Martin. O sea, que este es el verdadero hijo de Martin.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person
Toma.
can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink.
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Qué curioso. Bueno, aún así se podría decir que somos hermanastros igualmente. Aunque no lo seamos de verdad.
Mark my words, they'll be at each other's throats before dinner. What else would you expect? It's a matter of progress.
Vamos a ver. ¿Qué pasa aquí? Moza, sírveme algo. Backlin Brabant. Aquí está Ruthard. Se ve que Rosa no está por aquí.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an
Un poco
unfortunate
subidito
turn
aquí
of
nuestro amigo el
events.
Chevalier de
That needs some
Arezzo, como se
explanation.
diga.
What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
¿Cómo te equivocas?
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah,
Je suis désolé.
This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. Do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor?
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery.
Then, what are you doing here, at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
The Lord moves in mysterious ways. You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood.
Como tú digas.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then...
Otra
You
vez.
wouldn't by any chance know the Pope?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome.
Bonifacio.
A pleasant fellow.
Noveno.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation.
Pobre. Listo. Va a entrar el Jobs, que es que parece el rey, el Jobs este, madre mía, cómo está. ¿Te imaginas que entra Wenceslao? Imposible, si Wenceslao está...
Dear friends and allies,
Está preso.
in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary. And here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
El juego se lo está pasando pipa.
That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing.
¡Orden!
I'm not going to die.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from you. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd
Yo
just...
sé que es verdad que era hijo de alguien muy importante, de un señor de aquí. Que creo que está en el bando de Sigismund, pero no me acuerdo exactamente de quién. Es que lo dijo. Creo que lo dijo en el primer juego y creo que lo ha mencionado otra vez en el segundo y no me acuerdo.
You could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Was that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
¿De qué va el asunto?
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings.
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to...
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
If Sigismund decides to mount an attack on the camp, it'd be a massacre.
Ah, but it won't. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves. But he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Bocek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
Vale.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome. Because it would mean slow, but certain defeat for...
Why me?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
Tell me a bit more about those people.
Certainly.
Yo qué sé. Me da igual.
Bocek of Kunstadt.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game. Because he doesn't like to take... He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will...
Vale, ¿y cómo quieres que lo lleve a nuestra causa?
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich...
Cosa que yo no sabía, ¿la ciudad fue tomada? Yo pensaba que el ataque de Segismundo no tuvo éxito. ¿Fue tomada por Segismundo? A ver, los de Segismundo se están congregando ahí en la casa consistorial o como coño se llame. Pero yo pensaba que es porque se escondía ahí el men. Pero no, claro, sí, realmente si se están congregando ahí todos los importantes de la ciudad.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner.
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here.
¿Y entonces el puto campamento que hay a las afueras? Pero ese campamento no es de Segismundo.
Assemblies like this are more of a
male affair? Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her, and that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
Vale.
I'll get up.
I wish us both luck. Before the day...
Success to our plans.
Se sacan la copa del culo, tú. Y para adentro. ¿Pero en serio tengo que hacer esto? O sea que... Pero... Vamos a ver.
Not even Bocek?
Este es uno de ellos. Ah, que están todos aquí. Vale. Están todos reunidos aquí.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Pah, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest. I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to harass my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Older.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation.
Ah, vale. Este era el padre de él. Vale. El Peter este de no sé quién. Este era el padre de Godwin. Pues joder, no parezca que se lleven muchos años, ¿eh? A lo mejor tuvo algo con 15 años este.
Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then.
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then, I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sasau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
Dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
¿Christopher quién es?
You
Un
won't get
hermano.
away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your
Un hermano,
challenge,
un
and we'll
hermanastro.
sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence. I can have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson. And he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame. As always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard.
After you.
Well, that's that.
Shouldn't we
A
rather...
ver, claramente Godwin es mejor espadachín, ¿no?
Christopher will sort it out.
Venga, sí, Christopher. Inténtalo.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Pues ya estaría, ¿no? Espérate que me estoy cansando, Christopher. ¿Qué te pasa?
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the Archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Why? Well... I apologize for going off...
So Father would be satisfied. Only he'll never be satisfied. And the sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
And no luck again, eh? When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week. because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Qué barbaridad.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
Sí.
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have
Seguro,
to
habéis perdido el duelo. Seguro que os
what
hable.
it's all about.
Venga, vale,
All
sí.
right, then.
Te
You've heard Job's
confío los
plan,
planes.
right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay
Como
for
me
it.
traiciones, hermanito, me voy a cagar en tu puta madre, eh.
Because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Bueno, muy bien. Han salido mejor de lo que esperaba. Vale.